Contrapposto is important. The pelvis tends to have the opposite tilt of the rib cage. If you can add a little bit of twist, that's typically like a nice gestural thing to do. The distance between the rib cage and the pelvis when neutral is quite small, like 4 fingers. Not lengths of fingers, but like a little less than the width of your hand is this distance. So it's quite like from the rib cage to pelvis, it's quite a short distance. And that messes people up sometimes. That trips people up. The torso isn't that long. Once you have like your rib cage and pelvis orientations, it helps me a lot to just think of like this mass in between. It's almost like a sock or something. It's like a soft mass, right? So it largely just accommodates to the positioning of the rib cage and the pelvis that you've drawn. If the rib cage and pelvis are like close to each other, you'll get like a pinching. Think about the inguinal ligament that goes from the pubic bone to the ACEs point in like a curve. It marks the ending of the obliques. So there's this curvature sort of to the bottom of the midriff. Think about the abs as like just like a slab of meat almost that you put over this sock form that we've discussed. Another important landmark around the rib cage to pelvis connection is the 10th rib. The 10th rib tends to stick out a bit, often in silhouette, and often you can even indicate it with a bit of line within the silhouette. And then I would say that you have an okay connection of the rib cage and pelvis. I'd say that like, and then it's always easier if you're not used to drawing organic form to start with blocks, with cubes, and then over time you can evolve it to this understanding that I kind of demonstrated here with like a bit of a more complex rib cage model. You can complicate the pelvis model more. But I honestly think 2 wooden blocks in a sock is like a decent starting point for how to visualize this area of the body.